Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So over the last day, the price action for Bitcoin has gone from looking really good to very critical. So in today's video, we're going to dive into the charts to talk about the macro implications of the recent price action and the potential of the loss of the bull market uptrend, as well as diving into the short time frame analysis to talk about what we really need to see for a bullish continuation upwards. Before we do though, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel down below for regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and ring that notification button so you never miss an episode. If you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram channel for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. And if you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trade setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Alrighty guys, so diving right into the short time frame charts here, we can see that overall the last couple of days of price action has been relatively bullish, right? We had a nice strong bounce here from the base of support at $60,000, and in the last couple of days Bitcoin did have a lot of bullish strength. We broke above 62k resistance, which was our key range high resistance, and moved to the next range up here at $63.4 thousand. In the last day in particular though, we had a rejection from that level. We lost our range low or our local low here at $62.5 thousand and are now falling back within this channel of consolidation over here. In the last hour or couple of hours in particular, liquidations have grown quite a fair bit. We've had a 12.36% change in 24-hour liquidations, and most of them have been from longs. $63.8 million in longs liquidated in the last 24 hours. So let's go ahead and talk about all this recent price action over here and its implications on the macro charts, as well as our short time frame bullish and bearish predictions. Before we get into any more analysis, guys, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, Bitunix. Bitunix is an emerging cryptocurrency exchange committed to providing you with a secure, convenient, and highly functional trading and investment platform. Available across all countries as a non-KYC exchange, get global access to over 150 trading pairs with minimal fees on both spot and futures contracts. Join today to get $5,500 in sign-up rewards and get 15% off all of your trading fees by signing up using the link in my bio or by using the code 1GG3 when you create your account. Okay guys, so diving right into the high time frame analysis over here. By the way, I do have a lawnmower going right next to my window over there. I've closed all the windows and I'm just going to try my best to talk over it. But if you do hear a really low rumbling, it's not your computer, it is me. It's this video. Hopefully you guys can hear it though. It is kind of on and off right now, so hopefully that's the end and it's not going to keep going. So the last couple of days of price action that we've had over here has resulted in a really nice strong bounce from that 60k level, like I said, but also a bounce from our bull market uptrend over here. So that is really good to see that this massive uptrend that we've been in since this middle of October has been defended despite that recent flush down to $58.3 thousand. And we can also see that from that recent test of the low at $58,000, we've actually developed some really nice hidden bullish divergence over here, right? And that is represented by the lower low here on the RSI. So we're seeing increasing selling pressure and a higher high here on the charts. We have a low here, a higher low, sorry. We have a low here at $56,000 and another low here at 58. So it's a higher low despite the increase in selling pressure. And essentially what that's telling us is that at this stage of the price action, the sellers are stepping in at an earlier level of price, right? We're seeing this trend line and we're seeing the 60k level really being defended this time around. So that is actually very bullish to see on a high time frame chart, and it suggests that on a macro scale, Bitcoin should be continuing upwards and we should not be losing this 60k support anytime soon. But looking at the price action, we are approaching that level, or we're approaching that kind of phase where, you know, we are getting really quite close to the trend line over here, right? So we either get a nice strong bounce here and we move upwards, or we are at a real risk of potentially losing the uptrend. So let's go ahead and talk about the bearish case scenario first and get that out of the way, just in case we do see that price action over the next coming weeks or days. So naturally, the loss of that uptrend would be the beginning of our bearish case scenario. But when we talk about, you know, actual bullish continuations and the trigger points for those bullish continuations, we need to talk about horizontal levels, because trend lines are one thing and they're great and they tell us which direction the price is going and which direction the price is likely to continue in, but it doesn't actually validate any sort of price action. So when we lose the uptrend, the key level that we're really looking for in terms of the loss of the uptrend is this level over here at 58,300. On BLX, it is 58,800, but on any sort of trading chart like the Binance chart, Bitcoin USDT, or the BitGet chart, which is where I trade, it is a little bit lower than that. So it's 58,300. And we can draw in that little horizontal ray over here to just visualize it, and that is that key level here. So if we take a look at the trend line and the range the trend line is existing in right now, that would pretty much be the exact loss of that level right now. It would take us right down to that $58,300 level. Upon losing that level, the first bearish move that Bitcoin will have is right to sell side liquidity, or that prior range low over here for this giant channel of consolidation, that range low being $56,600. So that would be already very, very bearish, but the true bearish case scenario really begins when we lose this level, because that genuinely confirms the loss of the 60K support region over here, because we've lost the sell side liquidity level for our support level, right? And that tells us that we've completely negated the bullish case scenario as of that period of time, and we should be going down to the next level of macro support. So upon closing below $56,600, the next target is down here at 52K. So that's that bearish case scenario there, and that very first validation is the loss of our local low here, or the range low at 58.3. Now, to talk about the bullish case scenario, let's go ahead and move on to the shorter time frame to discuss those little bullish triggers that we have here and the key levels that we need to hold. So moving over to the 4-hour time frame to discuss the potential bullish case scenario, the bullish trigger for, a large continuation upwards is the same as it was in my last video, guys, and that is this level over here at $63,400. We can see that last time we broke above this as a level of resistance, we had a massive rally, 13% all the way up to 72K, and the last time we fell below this level, which was quite recently, we had a 7.7 or 8% loss and moved down to that range low here at $58,300. So clearly, guys, it is a really key and critical level of support. So in terms of that bullish continuation upwards, that is realistically the main level that we're looking to clear. If we want to be specific about the resistance, just zoom in a little bit. We can see that the recent rejection here was the rejection from 63,800. So while the resistance range exists and ends at 63.8, this will be that bullish trigger where we've exhausted the buy side liquidity and we move above from that point onwards. In that move upwards, the first target that we have is the next level of resistance here at $66,000 or $67,000. So the exact range is from 66.1 to 67.3K, and we can see it is a very, very strong level of support once we establish it, and generally it supports the price to move up to that 72K range. Over here we move to 70, 72 again, and about 69,000 over here. So very good level of support to have established, and it does suggest a macro continuation upwards. And upon that test of 72, obviously we get a chance of finally breaking out of this massive channel of consolidation and getting that continuation upwards. But as of right now, the price is quite far away from that. So let's zoom into the 1-hour time frame to talk about that recent little segment of price action, because we have actually dropped a fair bit since I started talking about the macro price action. Moving into the 1-hour time frame, guys, we can see that in between our macro level of support at $60,000 and that key bullish trigger point at 63.4, we do have a couple key levels in between. So that very first one is the local established level of support over here, which is, now a resistance at $62,000. We can see as soon as we moved above $62,000 and finally broke that level of resistance, the price moved right up to that key level here at 63.4 thousand. So it is a really important level for us to establish, but as of right now, after losing that level of support, we moved down to this next base down here at 60,600. So right now, if we were to bounce at 60,600, it would actually be overall pretty good, because it tells us that despite this massive amount of volatility and downward selling pressure that we've had over here, the price has still managed to establish a higher low on the charts. So that means that despite all the chop and volatility and external selling pressure that we've had, the overall trajectory for the week is still bullish. Okay, and in that movement above 60,600, so in this bounce over here, the first thing that we want to see is a break above this trend line down here on the RSI. So this RSI downtrend developed after the double rejection we had over here at 63,000. Sorry, let me try and move this. 63,800. And basically it was telling us that, you know, we were actually seeing some bullish exhaustion. We were seeing increased selling pressure at this point over here at this second peak. And the price has pretty much fulfilled that bearish divergence on the way down. So through this crash. So if we're looking to reestablish 62 as a base of support, the first thing we want to see is that shift in momentum. We want to see that the buyers are stepping back in to take control of the narrative on the short time frame here, and the thing that's going to represent that and the leading indicator that's going to tell us that we'll see 62.5, we'll have a very high likelihood of seeing 62,000.5 is a move above this RSI downtrend over here. So upon moving above that trend line and establishing support at 62,000, we should be moving up to this level of resistance, and upon breaking it, that's where we get that massive bullish trigger and bullish continuation to our next key target here at 67K. So that is the short time frame analysis on Bitcoin in terms of the bullish case scenario. Just really quickly, I'll talk about if we lose $60,000 over here, the $60,600 base. Sorry, $60,600 basis support. Sorry, so many numbers. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if we lose 60,600, this little level over here, and if we don't actually manage to get a bounce here, the price action will very likely drop to this next base down here. So remember guys, that is the base of the macro level of support we have here on the higher time frame charts at $60,000. That is that base there, that prior high cycle high, and the next key base of support that we have here on the short time frame charts as well. So if we lose that, we will not have established those higher lows like I just spoke about. And if Bitcoin does not bounce there, that is when the price becomes critical, because if we lose this level, it is highly likely that we then move to retest this little range low down here at 58,300. And remember guys, when we spoke about the bearish case scenario on those high time frame charts, it was the loss of that level down here, that red line at 58,300, that would trigger a continuation to the sell side liquidity level here over here. So at each stage of that bearish correction, the bullish moves become much more critical for the price action, because the lower we get, the higher the likelihood we have of closing below 56.6, and that is where that really major bearish case scenario begins. Alrighty guys, that is all the analysis that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. And if you're after even more content, be sure to check out my free Telegram channel for daily updates as well as crypto and economic news. If you're interested in my VIP channel, you can get more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trade setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. And if you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to Bitunix to get 15% off all of your trading fees and $5,500 in sign-up rewards. Hope you guys have a really great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.